Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. Before I start this, the main subject of this video, just want to mention on my other channel, Canadian Studmuffin, I believe sometime today I'm going to be doing a very big unboxing. So stay tuned for that. So once again, I used AI. It's called Grok 4 on X. And and it even states when you get the answers that it's just, there's different ways to different outcomes when you ask. But I kind of liked, for the most part, the answers that I received. So I asked for the top 10 greatest guitarist of all time, the top 10 overrated guitarist of all time, and the top 10 underrated guitarist of all time. And it'd just be kind of fun to go through each of the three lists and, to get some feedback and see if I agree or disagree with their choices, and you, the viewers, also. So here we go. So even AI states, for all of these, ranking the best guitarist in rock music is subjective. Based on criteria like technical prowess, innovation, influence, and iconic riffs or solos, blah, 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 blah. But this is what they came up with. Number 1, Jimi Hendrix. What a surprise. I'm wearing a Jimi Hendrix t-shirt. Revolutionized rock guitar with psychedelic innovation, feedback mastery, and explosive performances. I won't read all of these, but just go through them quickly. Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin, master riff craftsman who fused blues, folk, and hard rock, blah, blah, blah. Eddie Van Halen, pioneered tapping and high-speed shredding, redefining hard rock, blah, blah, blah. Eric Clapton, blues rock legend with soulful bends and vibrato, influencing rock through bands like Cream and iconic solos like in Layla. Brian May of Queen created orchestral guitar layers and unique tones, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and he built his own guitar, which is pretty amazing. David Gilmour, Pink Floyd, known for emotive, soaring solos and atmospheric effects, blah, blah, blah. Number 7, Jeff Beck, technical virtuoso, however you pronounce that, with dynamic pick less playing and whammy bar mastery. Now, for me personally, everybody's got their own opinions. Everybody's not going to agree with this list. I realize that. But I would have Jeff Beck closer to the top because I think he was just amazing. Keith Richards at number 8, iconic riff writer. Alex Lifeson, nice to see him in the list. Progressive rock innovator, blending complex riffs, blah, blah, blah. And Slash. I don't agree with that, but not that I dislike Slash. Revived hard rock with gritty melodic leads. And then they also have honorable mentions. Richie Blackmore, Pete Townsend, Tony Iommi, he'd be in my list. And Stevie Ray Vaughan, he was awesome. These selections reflect a mix of historical influence, technical skill. Yeah, like every list is going to be, a little different or whatever. But who's missing? I would have, I don't know who's missing from this list. Let me know in the comment section below. I'm sure, once I do this video, I'll say, oh, I forgot about him or her. But yeah, I agree with Jimi Hendrix being number 1. I see Jimmy Page being up there and Eddie Van Halen. Brian May, definitely. But like I said, I would have Jeff Beck definitely closer to the top. Not too sure about Keith Richards being in the top 10, but yes, he did create a lot of great guitar riffs, and I wouldn't have Slash in my top 10. So that is the best guitarists. Next up is the most overrated. And of course, some of these guitarists will be in the overrated list. And so it goes through the same spiel, of course, at the top there. And then Kurt Cobain, frequently called out for basic power chords and limited technical skills. Slash. So he's on the best guitarist list and the most overrated list. Criticized for repetitive solos, simple patterns, and lacking depth or variety. Eric Clapton appears on both lists. Jimmy Page, accused of sloppy playing, plagiarism, of course, and inconsistent leads. I don't know. Maybe, when he played live, I guess he was sometimes a bit sloppy, but still, I wouldn't say he's overrated. Kurt Hammett, Metallica. I think I don't know. Do you think he's overrated? I think he's at least a good guitarist. Carlos Santana, critiqued for repetitive solos stuck in one scale, boring licks, and lack of growth. Jimi effing Hendrix, there is no way he should be in the overrated list. Don't get me mad. Labeled overrated for prioritizing, that's hard for me to say, showmanship and noise over technical precision. Some argue his influence is exaggerated. I don't think so. Number 8, Angus Young. Once again noted for repetitive riffs and solos that all sound similar post Back in Black. Zakk Wylde. I'm not, I never really followed Ozzy's career that much. So let me know if you feel he's overrated. And The Edge, U2, faulted for heavy reliance on effects and delay. Yeah, but that's what, makes him The Edge, right? I used to, I was a big fan of U2 for many years, and so I do like his guitar work. So I don't know. I wouldn't personally put him in the top 10 best, and I wouldn't put him in the top 10 overrated. And then they even mentioned David Gilmour and a few others, Tom Morello. So let me know what you think. I'd love your thoughts on each of these lists. And then the final one is underrated. Oh, I've got some choices. I would say, before we look at it, Buck Dharma, as I always say, from Blue Oyster Cult. Zal Clemenson from the sensational Alex Harvey Band. Manny Charlton from Nazareth. The guitarist from Focus, forget his name at the moment. Jan Ackerman, yeah. And there, a few others. Paul McCartney, great, and George Harrison, of course. Okay, so underrated guitarist. Number 1, Alex Lifeson. Often eclipsed by Geddy Lee and Neil Peart. Yeah. He's just a superb guitarist. Number 2, Mike McCready from Pearl Jam. I'm not really into Pearl Jam, but I used to have some of their albums, and yeah, good guitarist. Terry Kath of Chicago, definitely. A jazz rock powerhouse with soulful, Jimmy-esque bends and rhythms. Robbie Krieger of The Doors. Yeah, I like his jazz folk infusions and lyrical riffs. Neil Schon of Journey. I know, they went in a more poppy direction, but The first three Journey albums were more jazz rock, progressive, and no doubt he is a good guitarist. Frank Zappa, he should be in the best. Yeah, that's one I would have included in the best top 10 best guitarist list. Prince for sure should have been in the top 10 best guitarist list. Tommy Bolin from Deep Purple and the James Gang. Erratic Life and Early Death at 25 hit his fusion prog flair. Danny Kirwan of Fleetwood Mac. I didn't really follow early Fleetwood Mac, but I do remember his name coming up quite a bit. And then Eddie Hazel from Parliament Funkadelic. Of course, he did that awesome Maggot Brain guitar solo, but I don't know enough of his other work, but I'm sure he was a excellent guitarist. And that is it. Aren't these lists fun? I'll do more if I get enough, feedback on these, because I do enjoy doing them and getting the feedback and having people argue in the comment section. So that is it. And stay tuned for my big unboxing on my Canadian Studmuffin channel. I'll have it pinned here somewhere when it's posted. Goodbye and have a great day.